Welcome to today's video about the 10 real ways people get rich. Forget everything the gurus on private jets have told you. Forget the one simple trick to overnight wealth, because it doesn't exist. We're all trying to figure out the same puzzle. How do people actually get rich? Not the fantasy version, but the real, often messy, and sometimes downright bizarre ways people go from zero to a life of financial freedom. Today, we're not selling a course. We're pulling back the curtain on 10 very real, very different blueprints to wealth. Some of these you might respect, some you might resent, and one or two might just blow your mind. But by the end of this, you'll see the game for what it really is. So let's get the most infuriating one out of the way first, shall we? The inheritor. This person never clocked in for a 9-to-5, never risked a single dime of their own, never lost a night's sleep over a looming deadline. They simply won the genetic lottery.
They were born on third base, convinced they hit a triple. One moment they're in a womb, the next, poof, they've arrived in a world with a trust fund, a driver, and a summer home in the Hamptons. It's like winning a multi-million-dollar prize for a contest you didn't even know you entered. And then having the audacity to complain that your personal assistant bought the wrong brand of sparkling water. Now, you'll sometimes hear the defense, oh, it's actually quite difficult. They'll claim that being handed everything on a silver platter can ruin you, make you complacent, destroy your drive. And honestly, maybe there's a tiny kernel of truth to that. But it's incredibly tough to sympathize with someone lamenting their lack of purpose while they're on a yacht in the Mediterranean, genuinely annoyed that the Wi-Fi is a bit sluggish. A deep-seated existential crisis just feels a little less urgent when you're flying private to your third vacation of the month.
Alright, so unless you were born with that silver spoon, that path is closed. So what about the path that millions of people are actually on? This is the path of the slow burn millionaire. This path all hinges on two questions. What does rich really mean to you? And are you in a hurry? If your vision involves a fleet of supercars and a private jet, this ain't it. But if rich is about owning your home outright, having zero debt, and never feeling that cold wave of panic when the check arrives at dinner, then this might be the most reliable map you'll ever find. The slow burn millionaire plays the long game. They pay attention in school, get decent grades, and follow the well-trodden path to university. They rack up some student debt, maybe land a summer job where their main skill becomes making a flawless cup of coffee for the boss. But eventually, they land that salaried position with a 401k or a pension plan, and the slow, methodical climb begins.
For the next 4 decades, they just grind. They work through the corporate gears, one small raise at a time, one annual bonus at a time. Wealth doesn't explode. It accumulates, grain by grain. Over the years, they buy a house with a 30-year mortgage, contribute religiously to their retirement account, and build a life that is, above all else, stable. And here's the kicker. By the time they retire in their mid-60s, an American who followed this exact blueprint typically has a net worth just north of $1 million. It's not buy a private island money, but it's never worry about the price of groceries ever again money. It's the kind of wealth that lets you sleep soundly at night. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but it always crosses the finish line. Okay, but what if that 40-year marathon sounds like a slow-motion death sentence? What if you want to roll the dice on a much, much faster track? Picture this. You're 17. It's 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. You're scrolling in bed, phone brightness cranked all the way down, when a text from your friend lights up the screen. Dude, you have to get in on this coin ASAP. You rub your eyes, click the link, and see the token name. Doge Elon Com. Of course it is. You snort. Every one of these worthless meme coins has some ridiculous, uninvestable name, which, for some bizarre reason, makes you trust it implicitly. You consider it for a moment, then decide to throw in the $50 you have left over from your birthday. What's the harm? You hit buy, put your phone down, and fall asleep. A month goes by. You're mindlessly swiping through TikTok when you see a thumbnail of a crypto bro screaming into his webcam. This is not financial advice, but Dojilon Cum just did 1,000 times. To the moon. Your heart stops. Wait, Doge what? Did I actually buy that? You fumble to open your crypto wallet, half expecting it to be a joke. You scroll past a digital graveyard of dead tokens until you find it. You tap the chart, and it's not just a trend line. It's a sheer vertical cliff face of green. You refresh the page, convinced it's a glitch. The number changes. You freeze. Your $50 isn't worth 60. It's not even 1,000. It's sitting there, glowing on your screen. $2.5 million. You just sit there, mouth agape, feeling like you've just completed the internet. And then the realization washes over you like a tidal wave. You are now a millionaire because you invested your lunch money in a cryptocurrency named after a bodily fluid. This is your peak. It will never, ever get better than this. So, you do what any responsible, newly minted teenage millionaire would do. You immediately go online and order a ridiculously modified Toyota Supra. That's the lightning strike. But what about getting rich through sheer, bloody-minded determination? Meet the scrappy entrepreneur. You've been through the ringer. You tried affiliate marketing, it flopped. You launched an AI-powered SaaS tool. Nobody subscribed. You started a podcast. Your only listener was your grandma. But through every failed venture, every rejected email, and every time you saw your bank balance dip into the double digits, you never gave up. You knew with absolute certainty that one of these ideas had to work, not because you were an optimist, but because the alternative was unthinkable. The thought of getting a degree, drowning in debt, and spending the next 40 years in a beige cubicle, withering away under the hum of fluorescent lights, that wasn't a life, it was a prison sentence. You'd rather fail spectacularly on your own terms than succeed quietly on someone else's. So you traded security for instant noodles. You taught yourself how to edit video from free online courses, working from a beat-up laptop in a spare room, just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. And then, one day, it did. You build a stupidly simple app that lets cat owners translate their cat's meows. It's mostly nonsense, but the marketing is brilliant. The app goes viral on TikTok, and a major pet food corporation takes notice. Suddenly, there's an email in your inbox with an 8-figure offer for the acquisition. Just like that. After all the struggle and self-doubt, you did it. You're free. You could relax now, buy that fast car. But you won't. Because for you, it was never just about the money. It was about the fight. Now, let's talk about a path that's both incredibly modern and incredibly polarizing. The e-girl entrepreneur. This might be the highest stakes gamble of all. Because when you fail at this, there is no graceful exit. You can't just delete your profile and seamlessly apply for a corporate job. If this venture doesn't pay off, you have permanently uploaded explicit images of yourself to the internet. For free. There's no undo button. It's the digital equivalent of going all in on a single hand of poker, but the game is being live-streamed to the entire world, including your future employers and your family. But let's be fair, the potential reward is astronomical. The top fraction of a percent of creators on platforms like OnlyFans are generating unbelievable wealth. A creator like Amaranth reportedly earned tens of millions of dollars last year, more than most CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. She out-earned executives with decades of experience by creating content in her bedroom. But here's the reality check. Earning that kind of money is about far more than just looks. It's a full-time job as a digital marketer, a brand strategist, a content producer, a community manager, and a salesperson, all rolled into one. To break into that top 1% isn't just about being attractive. It's about operating at an elite level of digital entrepreneurship. For the other 99%, they expose the most intimate parts of their lives, and the internet responds with a collective meh. What if you want the entrepreneur's freedom, but without the public risk? Then you might be the frugal grinder.
This is the silent accumulator. No showing off, no shortcuts, just unwavering, borderline obsessive discipline. They get a practical degree, walk into a stable career, and the game begins. But unlike the slow burn millionaire, they're not settling in for a 40-year ride. They are trying to escape. They work their day job diligently, then pick up side gigs on the weekend. They don't make excuses, they don't take expensive vacations, they don't buy status symbols to impress people they don't even like. They just work, save, and invest with a quiet, ferocious intensity. Their entire life is an optimization problem. They never order takeout without a 50% off coupon. Their wardrobe is functional, not fashionable. Their diet is built around bulk bin lentils, rice, and whatever meat is on clearance. They track every single penny, because every penny is a soldier in their army, fighting for their freedom. And here's the surprising part. After 15 or 20 years of this relentless frugality, it works. By their early 40s, they've done it. House paid off, no debt, and an investment portfolio that generates enough passive income to fund their modest lifestyle. Forever. They don't have a mansion, but they also don't have an alarm clock. They won the game by refusing to play it the way everyone else does. Okay, from the most disciplined path to perhaps the most strategic. Meet the trophy spouse. You're 24. You're stunning, objectively, breathtakingly beautiful, and you've just said yes to the man of your dreams. He's sophisticated, kind, and worldly. He's also 82, with a terminal diagnosis. And he calls you his little treasure, though sometimes he calls you by his first wife's name by mistake. When people question the age gap, you give them a practiced, serene smile and say, "Love is timeless. His soul is what matters." And, conveniently, so is his $200 million net worth. Everyone sees the play. His estranged kids see it, his private nurse sees it, but you maintain the performance with Oscar-worthy dedication. When his skeptical son takes you aside, you feign shock. "Oh goodness, I had no idea he was wealthy." It's a masterclass in acting. They don't buy it, but it doesn't matter. The asset has already been secured. You're not building a business, you're just waiting on an inheritance. It's one of history's oldest financial maneuvers. It's not noble. Some would say it's not right. But it works. Just try not to look too happy at the memorial service. You've got a new condo to decorate. Now, from a sure thing to a complete long shot. The casino high roller. You step into the casino, heart thumping. The odds are, as always, overwhelmingly against you. You walk up to a high-stakes baccarat table and place your entire $500 bankroll on player. The cards are dealt. A natural 9. You win. You're at $1,000. A sane person would cash out, but you're not here to be sane. You let it all ride. Player again. You win. $2,000. Your hands are starting to tremble, not from fear, but from something far more dangerous. Confidence. You do it again. And again. $4,000 becomes $8,000. A small crowd gathers, watching the madman betting his entire stack every time. In under an hour, your $500 has ballooned to over $600,000. The pit boss is now standing directly behind you. You can't stop. You slide the entire mountain of chips forward. Over $600,000 on one final hand. The room goes silent. The cards slide across the felt. He flips them over. Player wins. You just turned $500 into more than $1.2 million. In the time it takes to watch a movie, your entire financial reality has been rewritten. You wrestled fortune to the ground and won. This brings us to a much more modern form of gambling, the content mercenary. You start by making painfully awkward videos in your parents' basement, pointing at text bubbles, doing cringe dance challenges, anything to feed the algorithm. For months, your only engagement is from your aunt and a handful of bots from India, but you persist. Then, one day,
You get your first brand deal. A company selling miracle hair growth gummies. You know they're just overpriced sugar, but you film a video raving about them anyway. And to your astonishment, people believe you. You make $5,000. After that, the floodgates open. You keep growing your audience and keep promoting questionable products with a dazzling smile. Blue light blocking glasses, overpriced mushroom coffee, drop-shipped gadgets from China. You don't feel a shred of guilt. You see yourself as a billboard. If people are willing to buy something based on a 30-second video, that's their choice. You're just playing the game the way it's designed to be played, collecting a toll from the endless scroll. Finally, there's the path of pure, undeniable excellence. The GOAT, the greatest of all time. To be the absolute best on the planet at a skill, or even in the top few hundred, is an almost guaranteed path to wealth. But the scale of that wealth depends entirely on how many people are watching. Take a global soccer icon like Cristiano Ronaldo. In 1 year, he can make nearly $80 million from his salary, and over $100 million more from endorsements. That's almost $200 million a year for being one of the greatest to ever play the world's most popular sport. Now consider the greatest chess player of our time, Magnus Carlsen. His estimated net worth is around $50 million. An incredible fortune, no doubt, but it's not Ronaldo money. Why? Because the amount of money flowing through competitive chess is a fraction of what flows through global soccer. The wealth you generate here isn't just about being the best. It's about being the best at something the world is willing to pay a fortune to see. So there you have it. 10 radically different paths to the same destination. From the slow and steady grind to the lightning strike of pure luck. From sheer entrepreneurial grit to morally ambiguous strategy. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. The real question is, after seeing the map, which path do you choose? Let me know in the comments which one of these you find the most fascinating, or if there's a major one you think I missed. And if you enjoy these deep dives into how the world really works, make sure to subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.